The platform that we're able to set, sort of allowed us to be in the position we were. The last 10 probably wasn't quite what we wanted, but kind of making those subtle adjustments, heading into the second game and understanding that we're sort of better off for that first game. As I said, we did a lot of good things during that first game, and I thought the way we were able to adapt with the ball to a slightly different surface into the second game, the spinners were fantastic, sort of adjusting their pace more so than the line, but the ability to adapt and sort of have a couple of overspells here and there, depending on the left-right hand combination. So boys made those little subtle adjustments and obviously got the job done, which was nice.
Speaking on the wickets here, that obviously maybe a wee bit slower, a bit more spin friendly than what we're used to back in New Zealand. What are the conversations going on within the batting group to try and deal with those and have success on those sort of wickets?
I think it's sort of understanding the situation of the game a little bit. Sometimes at the start it can be a little bit easier when the ball's a little bit newer versus sort of through the middle towards the end when it does get a little bit softer. So it's more guys having their options that they stick to, that give them the best chance of being successful on these surfaces. And as I said, it's kind of eliminating, I guess, the situation and trying to play what's in front of us as much as you can. And sort of saw that the other night when the score wasn't necessarily big that we were chasing, but sometimes those scores can be a little bit niggly. So it's kind of taking the ego out of a little bit and just playing what's in front of us as much as we can. And I thought the way Will Young started, even Daryl, the way he played and braces, the way he came out at the end and was able just to play his game and stick to his options as best he can, was outstanding. I think that's what's important on these surfaces.
And innings that will probably go under the radar, just in terms of just the number on the score sheet, but your innings in particular really sort of anchored the chase and got the fellas sort of to that result that they were after. Talk to me a wee bit about your plans and what you were trying to, I guess, negate and trying to execute when you're out in the middle.
I think in those situations the only way you're going to lose the game is by losing wickets, and obviously had a couple of periods there where we lost a couple of wickets quickly, and again comes back to playing what's in front of us as much as we can, and there wasn't necessarily any pressure from a run rate point of view. It was more the wickets column that was going to get us in trouble. So trying to lower the risk options in terms of scoring options, and understanding that the longer you take it, the easier it's going to get and the more they will try things. So that was kind of my thinking around trying to do that and not necessarily take high risk options that will give them a chance of getting back in the game. So sometimes can be niggly situations, especially when the surface sometimes isn't necessarily easy, but it was nice to be there at the end.
One guy who really stuck his hand up was Jaden Lennox in our previous game. Has made an international fifer, I think the third best figures of any New Zealander really spinner playing away in ODI cricket. So you're behind the stumps, you're keeping to him. Tell me a wee bit about what was kind of the secret to his success there, and what's it like keeping to him?
Yeah, he obviously bowled fantastically well. I think probably the experiences that he's had in India and Bangladesh, probably held him in good stead for a surface like this, which did offer a little bit more for the spin. But I think you look at most of his wickets, they were either bowled or LBs, which is an indication that he brought the stumps into play, which sometimes is the best option. And I think he was able to execute his balls as best he could. And even the other night, I thought he bowled beautifully the other night as well. They played reasonably well, but I think to adapt on that surface, even to be able to hold a run rate as well, is just as important sometimes, which creates that pressure in one-day cricket. So obviously a fantastic performance from him, and I'm sure one he'll take a lot of confidence from.